Hello everyone, my name is Christian and welcome back to my hobby blog. First and foremost, hello. It's been a very long time since I've done a video. Honestly, I have just been completely burnt out and my mental health has been at its worst in a number of years since even before I started doing YouTube. So I had to take a break basically, and I apologize for not being around for the last 8 months. I think maybe 9 months now, and it's really sucked not being able to do anything for YouTube. But at the same time, I've just have not really felt focused. I was not feeling well at all. So the last few weeks or so has been a major breakthrough past all of that. So I'm really excited to be doing this again. So what am I going to be talking about today? I'll be talking about the new film by George Miller, who is a director I really enjoy within one series, but I haven't seen any other movies by him. And the film I'm talking about today is Mad Max Furiosa, which is the sort of prequel to Mad Max Fury Road, which came out in 2013, I want to say. It's been at least a decade. And Fury Road is one of my favorites. I think it is my favorite of the Mad Max films. And Furiosa is right there with it, in my opinion. I'm not going to be talking about the specific story really at all. I really enjoyed it. It's really epic, but in terms of details, I don't want to talk about that just in case you haven't seen it yet. And it's also one of the most epic Mad Max films, I think, because the world is at its most realized in this film. George Miller really digs deep into the world building of this film. We learn a whole lot more about the different factions that are working within this world, but we're also getting more details about things we've already known about, mostly about the character of Furiosa. And I would even say that to really enjoy Fury Road, you have to watch Furiosa first. And that's a little weird to say because Fury Road came out a decade ago, more than. And it's weird that this film is sort of like required to watch before Fury Road, in my opinion, because there's so much history and just details that you need to have in Fury Road that watching Furiosa is going to answer a lot of questions that you have while watching Fury Road. And I really enjoyed starting out with young Furiosa, played by Elila Brown, I believe is the actress's name. And she is amazing in this film. Her acting chops are really good. And it's about an hour into the film that we finally get into grown-up Furiosa, played by Anya Taylor-Joy, who is one of my favorite actresses today. And she's amazing in this role, which is not a surprise in my opinion. But I thought she did really well, sort of portraying someone who's on a vengeance quest. This is a classic revenge story. Because you have our main bad guy, played by Chris Hemsworth. His name is Dementis, which, by the way, is an amazing name for a Mad Max character. And I'm happy George Miller has not lost his touch when it comes to naming his characters. And this character of Dementis is somebody who starts out really sort of frightening and scary. But by the end of the film, you sort of realize that he's a lot more pathetic and maybe not as powerful as one would think. He's just very lucky when it comes to where he is in terms of power and where he stands in the world of Mad Max. And it's just really great watching him on screen with Anya Taylor-Joy, because when they're on screen together, I really enjoy that dynamic because they have such a deep history. But at the same time, when they're separated, I think Chris Hemsworth just doesn't make it for me. Overall, I'm happy with his performance, but it's when he's working with his other faction members within his own gang that I kind of start to lose it a bit. But I think that's okay. I think that's just personal feelings when it comes to that. But I'm trying to think anything else I really want to talk about. Obviously, it's Mad Max, so the stunts are amazing in this film, and it's not as uh, breathtaking, I would say, as Fury Road, because a lot of that was done practically. This movie's a lot more of a mix between CGI and practical effects. So if you're not into that, that's fine. But I think George Miller still has that touch. I think what he did with Fury Road was get that all out of his system. He finally had a really big budget. So being able to basically have one long car chase battle from beginning to end really works for that movie. But for this movie, it's a lot more personal when it comes to the character Furiosa. So the stunts aren't as prevalent in this film, but I think I really enjoyed all of the set pieces in this film, especially when it came to the paragliding, I guess, vehicles and all of that. I was trying to remember the name of the gang, but it's from the original film, Fury Road, the original. I guess this, you know what I mean. Uh, they they're really cool in this film. I really enjoyed the introduction of Dementis to this gang because some of the it's something boys. It's like Auto Boys or something like that. But it's a great sequence in the beginning when they first meet him, where Immortan Joe, the original villain from Fury Road, he's there, and he and Dementis meet, and Dementis sort of just shows up and is like, hey, like, I want to be in charge. I have a message for Immortan Joe, and there's a really tense scene with that, and then all of the different Lost Boys, I'll just call them, the Lost Boys just start suiciding off of the thing with the double staffs of dynamite and just like suicide bombing all of them. That was a really great scene, and it was just fun to watch. I watched this in IMAX, so I really enjoyed being able to go back to the Mad Max world on the big screen. I have seen Fury Road on the big screen when it first came out in IMAX, and I was blown away by that. I really loved the guitar guy with the flames shooting out. It really gave me some Rammstein vibes, because that's what they do in the concerts, is shooting flames from a flamethrower off the guitars, and it's awesome. I love Rammstein, but I'm trying to think anything else I want to talk about. I'm going to try from now on with my channel to keep these reviews short and just kind of give my reactions. These aren't going to be deep reviews, but I would highly recommend this film, even if you're not a fan of the Mad Max films, the originals, and also Fury Road. I would say that it's not as good as Fury Road. I rate it at about 4.5 out of 5. It's still really fucking awesome. I enjoy it a lot, but it doesn't have as much of the staying power as Fury Road, say. And I've actually been really wanting to rewatch Fury Road ever since watching Furiosa, because that is basically a prequel, and we get a lot of great scenes of sort of developing information about Furiosa that pays off in Fury Road. So I'm definitely interested in revisiting it, but I think that's about all for today. If I think of anything else, I'll maybe put up a supplemental video, just kind of even a shorter one than this, sort of explaining anything that I forgot. But that is it for today. Thank you all so much, and please have a great rest of the day.